has started. Let's cut right across.
We also have Jagdishan. We also have Jagdishan, our CEO and Managing Director. We have Mrs. Renu Karnad, who chairs a couple of committees and members of several committees in the board. With that much ado, I'll hand it over to Mr. Keki Mistry for his opening remarks and take the call from there on. Keki, thank you, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Srini, and good morning, and thank all of you for joining us at such short notice. We would like to address the recent development regarding the resignation of Mr. Atanu Chakraborty as part-time chairman and independent director of HDFC Bank Limited. The board has accepted his resignation with appreciation for his guidance and contribution during his tenure. We wish him the very best in his future endeavors. On behalf of the board and in full concert with the executive leadership, I wish to assure all stakeholders that there are no material matters at this point of time. Based on our discussions, there was no specific happenings and practices that were brought to our attention. There were no specific operational or other issues that have been highlighted. The board's oversight mechanism remains fully operational, and our collective commitment to protecting the interests of the institution, depositors, shareholders, and all stakeholders is completely and totally unwavering. This disclosure made is complete and transparent in line with regulatory requirements. The board and the management oversaw the largest merger in recent years in India's corporate history. The merger's successful completion and continued results have not only boosted the bank's balance sheet, but also given it a stronger presence in key products and services. The merged entity continues to build on its shared values and realize the full potential of its market synergies. The board remains fully committed to safeguarding institutional resilience and investor confidence. The bank operates with strong governance standards, robust internal controls, and an extremely experienced management team. Our strategic direction, business priorities, and execution capabilities continue to remain as always. The Reserve Bank of India has approved my appointment as the interim part-time chairman for a period of 3 months. The governance architecture that HDFC has built over the decades is grounded in transparency, institutional integrity, and long-term value creation. We remain focused on building on a strong legacy and working towards continued value creation for the bank's stakeholders. We share strong value systems, and I am confident of camaraderie and collaboration with the executive management in steadfast execution to meet all stakeholder objectives in an optimal manner. I also want to emphasize, and this is the last statement I'll make, that I would not have taken on this responsibility at the age of 71 if it did not align with my principles and the level of integrity that I would expect from the bank. So thank you, everyone. And Shashi, would you like to say something?
No, thank you so much, Keki. I think you've said it all. As I said, we all put in years of experience here. Our biggest treasure that we all have collectively with the members of the board, each of them are extreme professionals, and you as part-time chairman is the trust and the integrity. I mean, that is a value system with which we have all grown up, and we've all been mentored in this wonderful umbrella of the brand HDFC, and we are proud of that. We'll continue to ensure that this particular trust is maintained not just now, but sustained for several years going forward. We will not do anything that will bring in ignominy. Of course, there will be a large organization, will have errors and omissions. We will continue to address them as we go along, but never will the tone of the top have anything which will have any kind of embarrassment to anyone, including our own conscience. Thank you so much.
With that, Renju, we can open up the lines for questions.
Thank you. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone phone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. The first question comes from the line of Kunal Shah with Citigroup. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for taking the question and doing the call at the short notice. Firstly, maybe you indicated that at least there are no material matter that bank is aware about or no specific happenings or operational issue. But maybe for such a strong wordings in the resignation letter, what do you think would have actually triggered that? Maybe that it's mentioned that it's not in congruence with his personal values and maybe ethics. So if you can highlight if there is something which would have triggered the friction which would have got created. And the second question is again, maybe it coincides the reappointment term of MD and CEO, which is now due in next 7 months. So how, since there are like board members also who are there on the call, maybe in terms of whether what would be the impact with respect to the MD and CEO reappointment and maybe the application which would be made to the RBI, any timeline which you can suggest in terms of how should we look through in terms of this development over next 2-3 months? Yeah.
So let me try and answer that question, and then maybe some of my colleagues on the board can also step in. Firstly, let me say that we are not, none of us as board members are aware of what are the specific issues which Mr. Chakraborty wrote in his letter. The board members asked him yesterday, and he didn't give any specific explanation. As regards Shashi's appointment, it is something that will be considered by the Remuneration Committee, by the Nomination and Remuneration Committee. There is still time to do that, and obviously at the appropriate time, the committee will meet and we will take it up in the board. Nothing changes as far as that is concerned.
Okay, and in terms of timeline, so maybe generally 6 months prior to the reappointment, we see it getting applied.
I'm sure the NRC will meet as in the near future and take a call. But Shashi is very much part of the bank. He's been running the bank successfully for the last many years, and we all hope that he will continue to work with the same devotion that he has over these years.
Sure. Okay. Thanks. That answered the question. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Kaitav Shah with Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Hello. So in terms of, hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes. Good morning, sir. Thank you for having such a quick call. So in terms of timeline, there was an additional message that was received by the investors that you all received the resignation day before yesterday, and the board received.
It was
yesterday. And sir, so within that timeline, you were also approved by the RBI to become interim chairman. So that happened very quickly. If you can just tell us what happened within that timeline.
All right. So let me answer that. I'm right now in Delhi. I'm not in Bombay. I was in Delhi yesterday also. There was a board meeting in the evening. After the board meeting got over and Atanuji gave his resignation letter, some of the directors of the bank went and met RBI, spoke to them, and that is the time RBI approved. So it happened at very short notice. It did not come with a 1-day lag or a 2-day lag, as you may have indicated. The letter was received by the bank yesterday evening, and they met the RBI. Met RBI later on in the evening after the meeting was over.
Thank you, sir. The speed really helps. Thank you. That was the question.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Suresh Ganapathy with Macquarie. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So Keki, was the issue with Mr. Chakraborty there for a long period of time? You definitely would have minuted in all the board meetings the kind of disagreements that he would be having, because these things don't happen overnight, right, Keki? So it's been a 2-3 year process perhaps. The press is quoting there is a power struggle and he wanted to operate on an executive style, again strictly going by what CNBC is saying. Has there been a long period point of differences over the course of last 3-4 years?
Well, differences on minor issues do come up from time to time, but there was nothing material whatsoever. Let me reassure you, in no board meeting has there been any kind of, complete differences of opinion or anything of that sort. And the board minutes will reflect that. Relationship, I mean, human beings are human beings. There will always be some relationship issue between individuals. Those kind of things happen. There was no power struggle in the bank, as you put it, Suresh. The bank works, the entire bank, the management team in the bank works as a cohesive unit, and to my mind will continue to work as a cohesive unit. When this thing happened yesterday evening, the first thing the board members did, people who were in Bombay, they met RBI, spoke to RBI. RBI gave their approval for making me interim chairman for a period of 3 months to just stabilize things and then move on. So that's the background. And differences of opinion, differences of views may always be there between individuals, but there was nothing, I repeat, nothing substantive, nothing whatsoever. And believe me, as I mentioned earlier, at the age of 71, I would not take on this responsibility for 3 months if the systems, processes, governance practices in the bank did not align with my principles and my level of integrity.
Thanks, Keki. That is reassuring. Just one more thing. Of course, we talked about power struggle at the board. There
was no power struggle at the board. Absolutely nothing.
But what about power struggle at the employee level between the CEO or the DMD or the CXOs? Just again, that also comes in. Is this also functioning well?
No. Keki, you can join, but I would like to address that question of young Suresh. Number one is, Kazad is a very dear colleague, and I have the highest regard and respect for him. We have worked together. Unfortunately, I do not know what kind of stories are going around, but today that man handles the entire business, the asset business of the balance sheet, which reflects the kind of respect and stature that he commands within the organization, both at the board level and at the management level as well. So that will continue. In fact, he will only get more responsibilities as we move forward. And the very fact that we were all unanimous, both at the board level, to send his name for yet another term as a deputy managing director reflects that. And we're extremely happy that the approvals have come, and he's going to be there for the next 3 years, which is going to be one of our best years in the history of the bank. Thank you.
Okay, that's clear. Yeah, Keki, you want to add something, or this is fine?
No, I would add to what Shashi said. There is complete, let me repeat, complete and absolute unity in the management team.
Sorry, just one last question I have to squeeze in. How are the regulators, you have in Delhi, you have of course met, how are the regulators, the government, the SEBI, the board, everybody is looking at this particular thing? Because you need to get the shoe-in of the regulators at this point in time, right? So can you give us a clarity on that matter?
I have not come to Delhi to meet anyone. I'd come on a personal visit with my wife, so I'm really on a holiday today. But so I've not met anyone in the government, and RBI, my colleagues on the board went and met them yesterday, and maybe someone may want to speak on that.
So there were 2 whole-time members and 2 independent members who had visited the regulator. The regulator heard us out. He obviously, was very supportive of the fact by his demonstration of approving Keki Mistry's appointment as an interim part-time chairman in the shortest possible time. That reflects, as Keki mentions, a very strong messaging to the world at large. And I think, they have been undertaking a lot of their supervision, in their supervisory cycle, a lot of examinations, both off-site and on-site, which we have navigated right over the last 5 years in the recent past. And I think we have been whilst these examinations are not in the public domain, but I guess the fact that we continue to remain in our positions, says it all, where there has been extreme amount of confidence to the respective independent committees, whether it's the audit committee, whether it's the risk policy committee, which are the fulcrum in terms of governance, controls, and of course we have the NRC committee. These are all manned and by independent directors with strong vintage, credibility, experience, and stature. And some of them are on this call, and they have, as I said, they have very comfortable with the functioning of these committees, who in turn oversees the operations in every aspect of it, whether it's risk management, whether it's compliance management, whether it's audit management, etc. Yes, any organization, whether small or big, will have issues, but these are all addressed at every point in time, and whatever is pending would have a lot of timelines, and these are the things that goes on in a very normal and a calm manner.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Prashant Periwal with BlackRock. Please go ahead.
Hi, Sachin team. Look, so far, whatever I've heard on this call, it doesn't make me any wiser than I was an hour ago, right? So, we've not seen, chairmen in India resign and quoting that they did not like, what was going on. It's basically a very scratchy remark, right? People could resign because of personal reasons. Generally, that's what we see in India. So there is something. Would you kind of open up and, try and build some confidence with your investors? What exactly was it? Because he was the chairman of the bank. I mean, he was not like any other employee that resigned, saying something and means nothing. Thank you.
Look, I can only say that at the board levels, there has never, ever been any kind of a discussion on any matter which is contentious in terms of governance, where appropriate, if there has been any minor issue here and there, these issues have been tackled appropriately. What caused that letter to be sent yesterday is something which really, to my mind, defies logic. But any of my board members would like to, or any of my colleagues would like to step in and say something. I'm not aware of any issue in the bank.
Sorry to interject here. So look, if it is too early and you guys have no idea why it was happening, so how can you say there is nothing behind it?
Because the bank has a very strong risk management process. The bank has a very strong audit process. The bank is a systemically important bank and therefore gets supervised continuously by RBI on a regular basis. The board carries out various kinds of audits of different functions, and there has never been anything from a governance standpoint, to my mind, which has come to the attention of the board.
And Sachin, do you have anything to add here?
No, I think Keki has sort of added whatever very well. It just encompasses all our thoughts and feelings on the same.
If any other board member would like to speak up, please do so.
I'm Harsh Vanwala. I head the GNRC, and I can assure you we hold highest regard for our conduct rules, and we believe strongly in sound governance. He was a member of the committee, the outgoing chairman, and all the discussions that happened within the committee, the resolution was unanimous. There was no difference of opinion by anyone. And bank and the management of the bank, whatever various committees have said, have taken due cognizance of that in line of the principles of regulation and governance which are required, and has come up to the expectations of employees as well as independent directors on almost all issues.
Right. So you were in the board meeting. Let me ask you this, right? I mean, the chairman tenders a resignation saying Is this something he's not happy with? And you guys say, okay, fine, resignation accepted, without asking him, like, what is it? This is what we are asking, like, what is it? Like, small or big, trivial, serious, whatever that is.
I think Shashi was there in the meeting yesterday, and all the members were there, and Keki joined over phone call. All of us had asked him, what are the reasons behind this? And he says, I have no issues. It could be my value systems, etc., which are different, but he didn't say anything on regulatory aspects of the bank. It was all sound. He agreed with us.
In fact, we had repeatedly asked him for, to tell us why, what had triggered this, and if there was anything, we have to set it right. But he said there was nothing. And that was a bit baffling.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next question comes from the line of Prashant Poddar with ADIA. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Hi, Keki, Shashi. It's quite strange. This is from Arya. It's quite strange that we are getting these kind of letters from chairman of the largest private bank in India. So, is there no, if someone has to kind of insinuate towards something, there should be explanation in the letter. Else, this is scathing, and rather than sending regards, the bank should ask RBI to investigate because this is banking business is that of reputation, right? You cannot let this is reputation maligning kind of letter. That's all we felt after seeing the letter. That's all from my side.
Yes, thank you very much. Obviously, the board will meet soon, and we will take a call on what to do. But as I mentioned to you, many of the board members went and met RBI, the regulator, and RBI is fully in the picture, fully in the loop. And the fact that they are comfortable with what is going on in the bank is reflected in the fact that within a short period of time, they approved my appointment for 3 months just to stabilize things.
No, we appreciate, and our best wishes are with you. We agree that it's it's not some consumer business. It's a banking business fully governed by a good board. Members of RBI are on the board. So, best wishes, and hope that the bank comes out as clean as always out of it.
I am extremely confident. The bank will come out very clean. We have really, truly the highest standards of governance. And as I said, I believe very strongly in governance. Personally, I would never remain on the board if I had the slightest doubt about governance.